So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. My name is Wilfredo Diaz. I'm the Sergeant Public Information Officer for Division of Police. Today we're here to discuss an important message in reference to fireworks safety, and that topic there. With me, I have Lieutenant Mike Norman, who is the Public Information Officer for Division of Fire, as well as Commander Ellen Casimir, he's the Public Information Officer for Division of EMS. Our public safety partners are here to discuss the hazards of fireworks that pose as we approach the 4th of July holiday, with that possibility of increase of the use of fireworks in our city. We want to convey this important message to our community. Fireworks, while legal in certain areas in the state of Ohio, they are illegal in the city of Cleveland. The use of fireworks in an urban setting is not only dangerous, but also prohibited by our municipal law. Additionally, the city of Cleveland enforces noise ordinance that prohibits unnecessary noises. From a law enforcement perspective, it's not just only about the legality of the fireworks, but also the quality of life issues that those bring. The loud noises generated by fireworks can be disturbing to many individuals, including those that suffer from PTSD, like some veterans. Further, pets, the elderly, young children also suffer significantly from these type of disturbances. Fireworks can pose serious risk, including fire, injuries, and property damage. Lieutenant Mike Norman is going to talk a little bit about that as well. There also brings some potential medical emergencies that can arise, and Commander Casimir is going to speak on that as well. So this is a combined message from our public safety partners because it affects us all in some capacity, and it's an important message that we want to remind our community today. Our community's safety and quality of life is of our top priority. It's a priority for all of us to have, good quality of life. So it's important to get this message out. There are a variety of areas where fireworks displays can be viewed from. So we just want to remind our community to take advantage of those locations for the firework displays and use those places to view and not set off fireworks illegally in our city. We ask you to consider the well-being of our veterans, our pets, our elderly residents, young residents, children who are particularly vulnerable to loud noises, and let the professionals handle the fireworks. I think that's very important. I will now ask Lieutenant Mike Norman to come up and share some messages from them. At the end of this press conference, we'll open up for questions as well. Lieutenant?
Thanks, Sarge. I'm Lieutenant Mike Norman. I'm the Public Information Officer of the Cleveland Division of Fire. It's MikeNorman. The first thing from the Division of Fire, we want to encourage people not to play with fireworks. They're too dangerous. Leave the fireworks to the professionals. If you set burning materials into the sky in a populated area, the result is predictable. And any firefighter that's worked on the 4th of July will tell you it's a busy day for us. We see an uptick in structural fires, and over almost half of those fires are caused by fireworks. So we just want to encourage people not to light fireworks, not to send fireworks up, especially in the city. And you're playing with fire at that point, and it's even worse than that. A sparkler burns at 2,000 degrees, and wood only burns at about 900. So it's twice the temperature of burning wood. You put that in a child's hand, if they touch their skin, God forbid they touch their eye, you can have scars, you can have permanent damage. They're just really too dangerous. So make sure you're leaving the fireworks to the professionals. Don't play with fire by handing sparklers to children. And the last thing I'll mention, we have a special guest. This is Tulakins, Tulakins. She's our little friend. And Tuli, like a lot of our combat veterans, are not fans of explosions. So you want to make sure that you're not blowing things off. You're going to celebrate the 4th of July on the 4th of July. The 1st of July is not a holiday. The 28th of June is not a holiday. Just be mindful of our combat veterans and our four-legged friends as you're celebrating on the 4th of July. Now I'll turn it over to Commander Casimir.
Good morning. I am Commander Ellen Casimir, E-L-L-E-N, last name K-A-Z-I-M-E-R. And I'm also going to talk about firework injuries, and that they're avoidable. Potential injuries are going to include your burns, which is your highest percentage of injuries. They can be anywhere from your minor burns to your severe burns. You can suffer from temporary or permanent loss of vision, loss of hearing. There are traumatic amputations of fingers, toes, and etc. Not to mention the potential stress it can cause to those who suffer from PTSD. Oftentimes you have multiple injuries, so it's not just a burn, not just a traumatic amputation. You have multiple injuries going on at the same time. These injuries can be life-altering and disfiguring. Potential injuries can not only affect the person handling the fireworks, but also those who may have gathered to watch, i.e. neighborhood children. Let's not forget our furry friends, who can also suffer from illegal firework displays. Finally, if a severe injury does occur, you should seek immediate medical attention. So now we're going to open the floor for questions.
Yeah, I'm curious from a law enforcement perspective. I know you mentioned, fires and stuff like that, but how big of an issue is illegal fireworks from your perspective, like in previous years, on a week like this?
So it's always a concern. Fireworks are illegal. It's, point blank, they're legal. These type of holidays are busy for everyone. A lot of activity, a lot of vehicle traffic, pedestrians, people walking back and forth. So our message is, if we can avoid these type of concerns by not bringing illegal fireworks, it'll free our safety forces to be able to respond more effectively, more efficiently to, more higher priority type of incidents. So again, the message is, this is something that we as a community can control. We make that cognizant decision to set up a firework that's illegal in the city of Cleveland, and it creates a list of other items that that brings, right? So, a fire happens in the house, now we're tying up fire department that could have been responding to some, an accident or something more serious. Injuries occur, we're tying up EMS for injuries that could have been prevented. So everything in reference to this message is, this is something that we as a community can control, and our message today is, let's work together to control stuff that we can control.
Sergeant
Thank you.
Diaz.
Sir.
In the community in which I live, which is in Cleveland, it sounds and looks like you're down at Edgewater. I mean, I can look 360 degrees and see fireworks. It sounds like a war zone. What should I do, or others who are concerned about it do?
So as anything else, we have, it's a two-way street, Harry, with this as far as the community. If we see something, say something, give us a call. So we get calls for that, we're going to respond. However, we're hoping that through this message with our media partners, we can deter that, and we could get this message out, and it's important to convey this. So the 4th of July is a few days away. If we collectively as a community get this message out and discourage this and say, hey, you were gonna go set this fireworks show, let's not do it, let's go down where it's allowed. That's the message that we want to convey. We're giving a warning. Let's not focus on that. Let's work together as a community to keep our citizens safe and deter that.
Sarge, who should they call? I mean, and not essentially jam up, lines that could be used in emergency type cases. Who should they be calling?
So we have our non-emergency phone line, 216-621-1234, that they can call in advance if they know, hey, I know someone's got, this firework display show ready to go. They can give us a call, give us a heads up, and our officers can come out and assist. Obviously 911 is for emergencies. However, we want to be notified as soon as we know, and we can respond and, attend to this. But again, we're hoping that this message in advance gets out to our community to mitigate that stuff.
What kind of penalties are there, sir?
I'm sorry?
What kind of penalties, if any?
They range, a lot of from misdemeanor 3s to misdemeanor 4s, misdemeanor 1s, depends on the situation. But there's definitely some penalties, definitely something that could be enforced, and there could be a combination of penalties from illegal fireworks to noise ordinance.
Sarge, for the people that come down to see the fireworks like at Edgewater, how do you protect them so a situation doesn't happen like last weekend at Edgewater? What plans are in place to keep people who come downtown safe?
Thanks, Tracy. Good question. So we do have a safety plan in place. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose for law enforcement sensitivity, but we do have a plan in place. We're working with our partners, Metro Parks Police, to ensure the safety of our community. However, like I mentioned earlier, this is a two-way street. Our community needs to take responsibility for that as well and make notifications. If you see something, say something, call us advance, let us know. Our officers are going to be working out there, they're going to be visible, and the message is we want us collectively to work to keep everyone safe and enjoy this holiday.
Do you have extra patrols scheduled?
We have officers patrolled and scheduled, like I said, with a partnership with Metro Parks Police, and they're going to be out there, they're going to be visible.
We do advise folk who are coming down to Edgewater and other places to watch fireworks to keep their private lease private and not bring it to the public and shoot people and shoot into a crowd. Talk about that.
Yeah, Harry, it's important. Yeah, if you have, you know, we can't solve our problems with shooting people. You know, we can't arrest our way out of a problem. We need to work together as a community to solve these issues. These events are family oriented. There's family specific. We want to enjoy it. So yeah, the message is don't bring that down. Don't bring it here. We don't want that. We don't stand for it. Cleveland is better than that.
Are officers going to be enforcing the firework rules this week?
Absolutely. If we come across anyone that's illegally selling fireworks or, you know, setting them off, we can enforce it. However, the message we want to convey is we don't want our focus to be about illegal fireworks because that's something we can control. We want our focus to be the safety of our community. We and our firefighters and our paramedics are out there responding to potential accidents, potential incidents that could occur because it's bound to happen anywhere in the city, anywhere in this country. So the message is let's control something. We control fireworks. Let's control that.
But you know, and speak again, if you could, about the potential hazards. People playing with fireworks can blow off a finger and hurt a hand or put somebody's eyes out. I know it sounds like, oh, well, you know, he's just a party pooper, but we're talking about real safety issues here. If you could move.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a very serious concern for us, Harry. You know, the injuries can be traumatic. I've seen it in my career, times when children were injured. You know, we will have situations, especially after the 4th of July, where some of those ordnance that didn't go off, that have short fuses now, will be left in the street. You know, that's very dangerous for a child as well, because a young child may pick that up, like that short fuse, and it goes off in their hand. You know, so there's a lot of things that can, like the sergeant said, be prevented by just not playing with fireworks on the 4th of July.
Mike, have you guys responded to any injuries thus far? Because I mean, people have been setting them off for a week or two.
They're not categorized as such, but we have. And, you know, you're going to see structure fires, we're going to have garage fires, we're going to have house fires. You know, it's uncontrollable. And like I said, you light them up in a residential area, and you're going to have structure fires as a result, and you're going to have injuries from them.
We had a long stretch of really hot weather too, you know, and does the fact that like things are pretty dry too come into play? Or is there anything that compounds it and makes it more dangerous right now
Yeah.
this year as opposed to other years?
Yeah, dry weather will make it, the grass becomes flammable, there's all sorts of hazards that you can have, and those can spread to house fires. We'll have structure fires from somebody throwing a cigarette in mulch outside of a house or a building, and the mulch will light and it'll get inside of the insulation, and pretty soon the house is on fire. So I mean, these things can progress from a very small action to a big problem.
I've seen and heard about forest fires that a cinder can travel miles.
Correct.
In the wind. And you got a house fire here in a close knit community, I mean physically close house, with no cinders going up. That also poses an additional risk, does it not?
Absolutely, yeah.
Commander, anything else from EMS standpoint on crowd safety?
No, I think it's just important to remember that when people are in large crowds, everyone's there for a good purpose, to have a nice time, everyone be respectful. And a little thing, the temperature may be kind of warm also, just make sure you hydrate. Sounds like a little something, but hydrating is gonna prevent some other possible medical emergencies down the road.
4th of July, is that something that you guys have more staff in place, like at Edgewater?
I mean, we're prepared, we have our full staffing, plus we will have some units down there at Edgewater to handle specifically the crowds.
And does the city have any estimate on like, how many people are we expecting, you know, to come down to Cleveland, you know, on the 4th of July?
We don't have those estimates now, but we usually, you know, prepare for, you know, large crowds, and we want people to come down and enjoy ourselves. This is a good celebration. It's summer, kids are out, and it's important to enjoy it and have a good time.
I see recent acts of violence at Edgewater, places putting a damper on celebrations. I know that lots of folks like, I'm not bringing my kid down there with all this stuff going on. And that's too bad. I don't think anybody wants that to happen, but it does happen. Is there a damping effect with things like this haven't happened recently?
So any act of violence, whether it's large or small, is difficult from our perspective, from law enforcement. I live in this community, so it affects me. Speak up. Yeah. So any act of violence is difficult from a law enforcement perspective. Public safety partners that respond to these type of incidents. Like I mentioned, I live in this community, so to me it affects me as well on a personal level, and we don't want to see it. So again, if we get this message out and we prepare and we're proactive and we work together collectively, our media partners, our social media partners, our law enforcement, public safety, all together, we can deter this and hopefully have a good celebration.
Sarge, the car meets that we've seen, Playhouse Square and then the bus situation not too long ago, word spreading that there's another one that's set up for either the 4th or the 6th. Is that concerning to you, especially with all the people that are gonna be coming downtown for this holiday weekend? And what do you do about it?
So we have a safety plan in place to address any issues that may occur. Again, I can't disclose all the information we have and available. However, since you brought it up, Tracy, it's a good opportunity to talk about this. It's illegal. It shouldn't be. It's a safety concern, and our message from the Public Square incident is the same. We don't want that. We don't stand for that. That doesn't represent our division, doesn't represent our city, and we hope it doesn't occur. But however, take this moment to say, we don't want that. We won't tolerate that. That's it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.